Welcome to this commentary. We're going to see a game between Grubby and aTnDarKFoRcE. aTnDarKFoRcE spawning as the blue Zerg here in the 7 o'clock position. And he is up 2 points. If he wins this, he has won the whole 5 games. This is Daily Motion Cup playoff, as you could see here in the comment. Up here at 1 o'clock position we have Grubby, who desperately needs to win this game. He is a Protoss player and his color is green. Oh, I might have said something wrong there. This is not Lost Temple, this is Shattered Temple, of course. These destructible rocks can be destroyed to access this island up in the upper left corner and this island in the lower right corner. Same kind of destructible rocks here. We can see that this probe is moving to try to find the opponent's base. This is standard, of course. We also saw the standard pylon coming down from Grubby, and now he will place his warp gate. No, his gateway. His probe was able to get in the Zerg base, of course, and he is harassing some here. No more shield on that probe. The 2 observers are looking for the opponent's base, and I think he knows exactly where his opponent's base is right now. This probe is moving out. For now. It's blocking the natural expansion. Meanwhile, the cybernetics core is coming up, another pylon, and of course the second assimilator is being warped in. Metabolic boost is being evolved, and we have one extractor which is at present not in use. The Zerg player has gathered the gas for the metabolic boost, and now everything is going to Zerglings, who will soon be Speedlings. It will take about a minute more. Chrono boosting out this Stalker, and having this Zealot in the entrance here will stop the Zerg from getting his Zerglings in, and it will stop the drone from getting out. Warp gate technology is being researched. Zerg player is expanding to his natural. Holding this Selnaga helps him keep an eye on things, and his observers are also keeping an eye on things. He will be able to see when the Protoss player starts to mine from these 2 fields. We have a pylon coming down here below the ramp. This hatchery is almost finished. We see a roach warren coming. Is he training a secondary queen? No, he has already done that. There's the hatchery and there's the second queen. Okay, small group of 1 stalker and 1 zealot is checking the Selnaga, I guess. Retreating. Speedling coming in to check out what's happening, and he sees this Nexus and the other pylon. I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, he saw them. that speedling died, but gave some information. More speedlings coming in. Let's see how effective they are. 5 sentries are able to produce a lot of force fields. The forge is finished, but will help him take control of this, since he will be able to produce cannons. The nexus on the natural is done, and he's transferring some probes there. 1 extractor, and he has started to gather gas from both of these extractors as well. Roach Warren, he has upgraded the lair and is researching burrow, but he has not started on the glile reconstruction since gas is sparse. He is low on gas, in other words, or at least that's what I mean when I say that the gas is sparse. I hope that's the correct way to say it. Moving out with his sentries and a few other units. These are not real, by the way. Hallucinations that are able to scout for him. Real sheep, since they only cost some energy from his sentries. We can see that the Zerg player is moving into this area. And, wow, new strategy. He is placing a spire here, which will probably mean Mutalisks and Zerglings instead of Roach and Hydralisk ball. These roaches for defense, of course, but less roaches, more Mutalisks. Even the Protoss player is trying to open up the expansion. And the destructible blocks on the other side are being attacked by the Zerg player. Might be a nasty surprise there. Protoss player is moving out after opening up here. One more pylon there. And the two armies clash together. A couple of force fields stopping the speedlings for a short moment to attack. Several force fields are holding for Roach's prisoner, but the Zerg army seems to be too much for the Protoss army, and Grubby is retreating these units back to his own base. Dark Force taking out that pylon as well. Zerglings holding these expansions. Okay, the Protoss is moving out again. Zerg has been able to take the gold expansion here, while Grubby is going for the blue minerals up here on the former island. Large encounter here again, where force fields were used to keep the roaches out. Now we see that 3 Mutalisks are on the board as well. An Immortal coming in. So he has a robotics facility there. Is there a robotics bay coming in? Not yet. We should take up the production tab, and I'm sorry, of course you should be able to see the names and supply as well. Right now Grubby is in the upper hand. He has 116 supply compared to aTnDarKFoRcE 110, and aTnDarKFoRcE is supply blocked. Twilight Council researching Blink for the Stalkers. The destructible rocks will probably go down long before this cannon is finished. Maybe not, with the help of Stalkers and an Immortal, a few Zealots and the Sentries, this will be just fine. So now this cannon will be able to hold that attack off. A lot of Mutalisks here. Harassing. Killing off that cannon and these Stalkers. Oh, aTnDarKFoRcE macroing up. He has been able to morph a hatchery here, and he's morphing a hatchery here, leaving this area open for an expansion later on. His gold expansion is harvesting a lot of minerals, and it's looking good for the Zerg player right now. Three bases versus 5 bases. Stalkers being focused out here. The Mutalisks having... There are several Mutalisks who are damaged from that fight. But this expansion is probably going down because Dark Templar has been able to infiltrate, and I don't see any detectors coming up. Is there an observer nearby who can morph? No, but here comes the Overseer looking for the intruder and not finding him, since he is located here on the cliff. Moving out again. And this queen might be... No, he's going for the hatchery. So this expansion was found and denied. Queen killed. And what will aTnDarKFoRcE do versus this invisible army of one? Mutalisk coming again. We have a Nexus warping in as a 4th. Expansion here over at blue minerals, and here the destructible rocks were cleared, so even here Protoss player is able to warp in a Nexus. The number of units are large enough to be able to encounter the Zerg units here at the Selnaga. The Zerg player having lots of speedlings, lots of Mutalisks. And let's see how this goes. Cannons helping out, of course, and it seems that the Zerg player needs to retreat. His speedlings are out, only a few roaches remain on the ground, and the Mutalisks were decreased in numbers. Now they are increasing again, of course, since Zerg is able to morph in very large numbers of units quickly. But right now Grubby is at 170 and aTnDarKFoRcE at 146. This base has been mined out. Starting base almost mined out for both players and mined out for Grubby. So he's mining from 4 bases and Zerg player is mining from 3.5 right now, decreasing to 3 quite soon. A Zerg player should not be behind a Protoss player in bases, so something has gone wrong here, of course. We see a warp prism coming in and it will be spotted on the minimap by aTnDarKFoRcE, but he is not able to spot it quickly enough. There is a Dark Templar and 2 Zealots moving in here. Those Dark Templars are a real pain in a body part that you can suggest or choose. What's Sporecrawler could of course detect the Dark Templar. This meant that all these Mutalisks moved in to kill off the warp prism, and meanwhile this Protoss army was moving in here towards the natural expansion, but he is moving back again. Grubby is 196 of 200. aTnDarKFoRcE still has some possibilities left to build up his army, a few more units. But soon both players will be at 200 of 200, if they want. One Zergling died there, leaving one supply open for aTnDarKFoRcE. As a rule, when you are at 200 supply, you should attack. You can't build more units, and therefore you will only be able to research and build more buildings. The Speedlings and the Mutalisks over here are harassing the Protoss bases. Killing off this Nexus, I'm not really sure why, since this base is almost mined out now. This expansion being attacked immediately by this Dark Templar, and this Overseer Cocoon is hatching there, and that killed off that intruder. We have one more intruder here, which was not taken out. The Mutalisks moved over him, and then comes the Overseer and spots him. The ball of Mutalisks taking out that base. High Templars. With Psionic Storm ready for any large ball of, for example, Mutalisks. Let's see if they get any Psi-Storm cast. Another attempt to get this hatchery up. This expansion was killed by the Zealots. There's a lot going on here now. Gold expansion is gone. Mutalisks coming in, harassing the gold expansion here. Killing off a lot of probes, of course. Stalkers blinking in. Guess that they killed off a lot of units there as well. 4 Archons now here. They are researching to get an advantage. And it looks like the Protoss player is ahead on the research. And this last attack convinced aTnDarKFoRcE to give up. Let's look at that attack. We have a lot of stalkers up here. And they are upgraded to 2. Where is the Zerg army? I don't think we have more than the Mutalisks. And they are upgraded 2 on attacks, 0 on Carapace. No armor upgrades. These Zealots forced the large number of Mutalisks to move home to be able to defend, and the Stalkers, Zealots and nothing else moves in, killing off these distant mining drones, attacking the Mutalisks, being attacked by the spine crawler. Zealots are not able to do anything since Mutalisks are in the air. But they were able to get into this base and kill off the spine crawler at least. These Mutalisks not being upgraded in Carapace gets killed by all these stalkers. And that is the reason for the aTnDarKFoRcE to surrender and say GG. His Mutalisk army is gone. He is attacked on several fronts by Zealots. And soon Grubby will be able to move into his natural and his main base and kill it. Okay, we move on to game 4. I hope you enjoyed this game, and if you haven't seen game 1 and 2, I suggest you look at those games first before looking at game 4. Thanks for watching, bye!